Inez, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure for me. Thank you. Could we start with a little bit of your biography?
I come from a small town in Pennsylvania called Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. It's a college town. Bucknell University is there. And the high school band was non-existent for a long time, but by the time I got to be 10 years old, the band was starting up again, and so it was like the Music Man. They were coming around to all the homes and asking who could play an instrument and so on. So I said I wanted to play the drums.
What about the percussion department? You say you were the only one in your class. How many people were in the department when you came to Eastman?
If I remember correctly, there were probably 7 of us. I was in my class, and maybe there were 2 in the sophomore class and 3 or 4 in another class. And these were individuals who had experience before they came here. They were all pretty much ahead of me in experience, and I understood I had to work hard.
Do you think that it's important for kids to decide what they want to do right away and stick with it and try to put all of their energy into that path? Or would you suggest that students nowadays should be more well-rounded?
Well, that's a tough call because, as you know, as a pianist, you have to dedicate yourself. There's a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication. I don't know when you decided you wanted to be a musician, but whenever you did, I'm sure it was at an early age, because you're in the Eastman School of Music, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't have talent. So you do need the discipline, the desire, the dedication, the focus for a path that takes you right to music. Now, whether you should be well-rounded or not, yes, you should be. And that is not always easy to do when you spend 4 hours of your day in a practice room.
You're writing a book currently, and in that book you talk about how you used to gig a lot when you were a child. You used to play in bars when you were 13. You used to go and play with your friends, play in bands. Could you talk a little bit about the impact that that had on your career, having to play and be in professional situations at such a young age?
Well, it taught me a lot about being a professional musician, something that many young students don't get today, because those were the days of live music, in bars, in clubs. So at 13, I was playing in bars. I wasn't drinking, but I was playing in bars, and my parents supported this. They used to drive me to the job, I'd play, and jobs then went till 2 in the morning, so they'd wait for me, take me home. But it had a big impact because I was dealing with older players who, of course, had more experience, and I grew up pretty fast. When you leave your parents, the next person you come in contact with, in this case, in music, it's your private teacher. That person sort of becomes your surrogate father, your mentor. You gravitate to him. I gravitated to him in a big way. I liked him, he liked me, he liked my parents. We got along fine. So to answer your question, yes, he had a great deal of influence on me. And when I taught, all the time I've taught for my 49 years here at school, I always had the feeling that here are these young students are coming from various backgrounds, and you become, in some way, their father, or their mother if you're a female teacher, whatever. And you treat them like your children. You teach them the art of whatever it is they're here for. But personally, I always looked at them as, now that may be the wrong thing, they're not my child, but I treated them with that same concept.